This is recording 807. The name of my podcast is Speaking to the CIA. You can find me at ChristinaStation918.com. You can find my podcast link there. You can find the latest updates every week there. You can also find me on YouTube under Christina Station 918. You can also find me on Podbean, or you can type in speakingtothecia.com. For those of you who can't spell my last name, you can easily find Speaking to the CIA or typing in Listen Next in Google. Again, you can find me on Twitter, ChristinaMS918. So, okay, so carrying on. Okay, so more connections. Where's the one that I wanted to do for? I wanted to do... Okay, let me do this one. Okay. Everybody always wants the Nostradamus one. So, and then they want to hear more, obviously. I know. Stop talking through me like you're... I'm gonna... Okay, so, anyway, I'm gonna first go over more decode with you, historical decode with you, and then it is Nostradamus, and then I am going to go over more connections to crimes that Gene Roberts has committed, okay, in the past. Okay, so here we go. Also, man, today was freaking epic in mental telepathy. It was freaking epic. You talk about making the Ku Klux Klan go effing nuts. Oh my God. So I bought a Varney t-shirt. Like I told you, Varney is my favorite t-shirt brand from when I was in high school. And anyway, I know from what Gene did with the Varney logo, okay, and the Varney name, by decoding it, her stalking me all of my life, and my husband's, and their families, all their lives. It's just more evidence of it. So I get to do the best of all things and turn Gene in and still love a kick-ass brand Varney while turning that bitch out for stalking and trafficking, running libel rackets, committing terrorism with the money. Also, somebody also wanted to point out real quick, you know how, can I myself talk, please? I'm talking. Okay, so, you know how when Gene Roberts planned to do the World Trade Center attack, she used the movie Flashdance as a theme, okay? So, you know how the welder guy that Alex has a crush on has the lambda symbol on his jacket, and that is a sign of future terrorism. So it's Gene Roberts linking terror plots together, like she's encoding all these terror plots. Okay, so anyway, she also did that with the Varney, obviously. So anyway, okay, so I was thinking last night before I went to sleep, I was like thinking about decoding, when I was decoding Christopher Columbus, and I've decoded him and his ciphers several times. And this goes around the specific topic of the last revelation of me, like, finding out how he, and I figured this out by decoding it. I couldn't believe it. It's in my podcast, Speaking to the CIA. I couldn't freaking believe it, how he conned It would have to be England, is what I'm thinking. I don't know who it was. I think it was England. But how he likes to make failed bets. Okay. He makes bets that fail. So it's like roulette, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, when you go to the casino and you play roulette and you get the roulette wheel and you can put your odds, you can put your money all over the place. He likes to make bets that failed, and what he bet on was in history, and this is all linked together. I'm cramming it all together. So please, white people, do not exhibit your two brain cells even more. People are tired of it. These little freaking honky Ku Klux Klan effers that run around spreading lies, white peopling everywhere. So anyway, okay, so proving that when the world was discovered, proving that the world was flat, or was it round? Okay, so it was Plato. It was Galileo before him. I don't know if it was Galileo or Plato, I can't remember, but it was before him. But they're all in the same lineup, okay? So anyway, okay, so he bet that the world was flat on purpose, okay? And he knew that the world was round, and he bet that it was flat on purpose. And I was like, oh my God, I'm decoding this. I'm researching. Well, I've got decode, and then I'm researching even more, and then I'm decoding in the research that I'm learning. And I'm like, oh my God, he is making failed bets on purpose. Why would he want to make a bet, first of all, on whether the world is round or flat? But then you could kind of see really wealthy people doing that, like gamifying it, like, guess what? And then, but why would you purposely, intentionally bet that the world is flat? So anyway, it carries forward into Columbus. And Columbus makes failed bets with England, which still blows me away. Like, he's betting on failure. So this is a thing. Okay, so no coincidence. I'm not saying no coincidence. I'm saying it's no coincidence, but I don't know what the coincidence is. I know Gene Robertson or Manson Occult is underneath everything. The FBI, also their initials. Blows me away. So anyway, what is the benefit of doing that? I don't know. So anyway, so I was thinking about all that again in my brain last night. I've had that decoded for a while, and it like blows my mind. But then I was thinking about Nostradamus. I'm like, I bet this is in Nostradamus' quatrains because of everything else I've decoded inside Nostradamus. Okay, so how am I going to find this? And you want to look at the original French, and then you want to, of course, look at all the English. So I started looking at all forms of the word wager, which is, you know, like you wage war. So wagers, bets. I didn't look up ante, A-N-T-E. But you might want to look up and see all decode on ante. Her ante and anti-money, and then anti-monopoly and all that, okay? So That all goes to my childhood in the 70s. My mom had an anti-monopoly game, and that was when I was first decoding her trafficking me and my mom and my grandma all based on the word and then all this anti stuff, and then anti-establishment and anti-betting, A-A-N-T, A-N-T-E. Ante is when you put your money in the pot. You put your money in the kitty. So, anyway, so I'm in Nostradamus, and I'm looking up his quatrains, and I'm looking up for all forms of the word bet. So I'm not really paying attention to, like, I'm reading the quatrain, and I can see stuff in the quatrain, obviously, because Jean's, like, had 60 years to go wild where her predecessors left off. But I'm, like, looking at, like, all the instances of it, like anything that's, like, really standing out. And then I see it's in there several times. And then I'm not even looking for the word betting or wager anymore. Then I'm just looking up any word that has the letters B-E-T in it. Okay. And also stop. Stop. Anyway, so, we have Black Entertainment Television, okay? So somebody said in my brain last night, they were obviously trying to cover their butt, and they were going to go try to run rackets and everything else. I could just hear it going on. But somebody in my brain goes, someone in my brain goes, they go, because why would they even put that in my brain in the first place? They're running a racket. They're off running and trying to hustle people. So they put it in my brain, they go, well, there's BET. Look, they did that too. Not Black people, not African Americans. They're like, Jean Roth, look how she makes Chris, she's controlling my speech to say the word they. She loves her pronouns. Okay, so anyway, I'm not talking about African Americans, okay? So, in African Americans, BET is a Fox network. Okay. So, if African Americans ruled all of TV and all of everything like you like to blame them for, they have a lot of power in this world. But there's still a lot of you, Gene Roberts, Ku Klux Klan. And then you got everybody else out there all in the same positions. Everybody's trying to work together. Everybody's trying to progress the world. And then you got the Ku Klux Klan. No. We're just going to do this my way. So, anyway, Fox is owned by Fox. I'm not saying the leader of Fox. I know the leader of Fox. I've communicated with him in mental telepathy. I'm not saying he's in the Ku Klux Klan, because he was shocked to heck him back when I was decoding originally what she did around the Fox News Network. He was like, oh my God. But anyway, I'm not even going to go over all that conversation, all that. It's already on my podcast. So anyway, so somebody is trying to so anyway, they go, look, there's BET here, and look, it's Black Entertainment Television. And then somebody used my voice, and somebody used me, Christina, my voice in my brain. And it was probably Jean, because Jean likes to impersonate me. In my brain, I can hear her. I can't stop her. I just ignore the heck out of her. But she, like, makes me sound real mousy, and then she goes, did Black people do that? And then it's like a Bicco scripto. And then like an act right person responds and they go, no, Black people didn't do that. I'm like, I'm just ignoring them. Because they're all full of crap anyway. Everybody already knows African Americans didn't do that. And then somebody else was sitting inside me going, which, you know what that, remember, you know why they did that? Do you know why they did that in your brain, Christina? First of all, they're pissed that they're caught. Second of all, the reason that they did that in your brain, doing that little Bicco scripto, because you just called their asses out for what is the word? She will speak for all African Americans everywhere. She'll speak for all Black and brown people. Who cares that she's, White and Fabulous and Ku Klux Klan. That's how the Ku Klux Klan is. And they suppress, that's what I'm looking for. She suppresses the voice of people going, oh, hell no. And then she does a little Bico Scripto smoothie, syrupy, slathery, crap, stunt scheme in my brain, which only pisses off African Americans even more. So, anyway, it's just ridiculousness. So, okay. So, anyway, back to this. So, back to Nostradamus. So, anyway, I start looking for all words with B-E-T in it. Okay, the letters B-E-T. So, there is betray. And Jean Roberts committed stolen valor. She's a Benedict Arnold. There is the word beta, B-E-T-T-A. Then there's the word between, and there is the reference. That's where I was like, oh my God. See, there it is right there. Failed betting. But roulette's not really failed betting because something is a winner. I'm just talking about like betting on something to fail. Like, it's going to fail and and you bet for it to fail. So, like, she sunk the Titanic, like the Exxon Valdez disaster. Like any of these terror attacks she committed. Like, she knows it's going to happen and then bets it's going to happen or not going to happen. Or, okay, I am making a report. Stop talking through me. So, they're doing that Bico Scripto again through my voice, and somebody else is not talking through my voice. It's a whole bunch of criminals talking through my voice. All right. So anyway, okay. So between is in there, and then alphabet is in there, and I decoded the alphabet. Okay, all the way back in time because I'm following Jean's trail throughout history, all over the world, all the way back to Genesis. And a lot of there's so much that I've learned. It's just fascinating, but I'm looking for Jean's footsteps underneath everything. Okay. So anyway, out the word alphabet, I was like, oh my God, go figure. Oh, I should have known that. So, and then you have beta, and then better, and then the TER and better, and then you have Rhett Butler. Okay. And then also notice roulette is red and black. So then, and then also the three Antichrists. Now, Columbus is one of the Antichrists. Columbus is Mavis. It's like I've told you, I've decoded the whole thing out. So it's a AIW effect. Okay. So he says that there's going to be three Antichrists. Okay. There is Hitler, and he says his name is Hister. And then there's Napoleon Bonaparte and Mavis. Okay. So it's Mavis, and Mavis is Columbus. Okay. So it's Columbus and Napoleon and Hitler, and then Mavis, but Mavis is Columbus. You see how as the AIW go back in time? So you have the 1 and the 3. So the Antichrist is 13. So do you see what I'm saying? Because it's the 1 and the 3, because Mavis is Columbus. So anyway, so I'm going through this and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to show you more on Napoleon Bonaparte in a second. So then I'm like, this is where all the Nostradamus guys that have probably taken off with all of my, listening to my podcast, and seeing the ciphers that I have out there and learning how to decode Nostradamus and taking off with the experts and then just figuring out everything. Okay, so this is where I'm like, well, so what's also important here is how many times the word bet is inside Nostradamus's quatrains, because how much? How many instances, how many times does it occur? So you know that's going to be a cipher, whatever that is. Because how much is betting? So that needs decoded in Nostradamus's quatrains also. So inside Bonaparte, okay, so B is the beginning, and then you have TE at the end, okay? So what's left is ONAPAR. Now, it's late at night, and I'm tired, and I'd get tired of decoding. I'm like, let me just see what she did. Let me take the cheating way and go put in the letters she used and go look up a a word generator and see what she did, because I'll know instantly what she did. So anyway, it only generates into 2 words: apron, CL code on apron, and then also apron from my childhood in the 70s. And then, oh my God, she freaking did that too. Oh my God. So CL decode from my childhood in the 70s around apron. She wrote a bunch of demonic ciphers, and she's making fun of my, I don't know that she's using my dress as a theme, but she probably was using my dress as a theme, the one that my mom made me, because it was a little yellow dress with a little white apron, and my grandma had painted a Native American girl on the leg, and it was precious. It was hand sewn. And my grandma painted it, and my grandma was amazing at painting, and my mom is an amazing sewer. But this was a precious gift from my grandma and my mom. And Jean thought she would have a ball and try to ruin that, like she tries to ruin all of my favorite things and everything that's precious to me in my life by trying to destroy it, and also by trying to pretend to be me and trying to steal my life and identity and trying to pretend that it's her. Jean Jernigan Roberts, my dad's psycho stolen valor ex-girlfriend. So anyway, okay, so CL code around apron. Okay, so when I get married, let me tell you this real quick. When I wasn't married to my ex-husband Ben yet. We were still dating. But anyway, or no, we were already married. So Jean Roberts did it again. So this was a precious gift from my mom and my grandma. My mom and my grandma Wilson, with my dress from when I was little. She's doing a clip and stitch. She's going to try to cover over the top of it. My grandma Stacia sent me and Vonda a precious gift that she got at the World War II Museum in New Orleans. And she got us red, white, and blue American flag aprons. And I was like, oh my God, I love my grandma. Oh my God, she's so precious. And Vonda, Ben's mom, was like, oh my God, your grandma is so precious. But anyway, so Jean did that too. Another regala. Jean loves to give evil gifts. Jean's not the one giving the gift. She ices the gift giver. So you have to pay attention to gifts, especially, well, you have to pay attention to gifts if you're being stalked by Jean Roberts. What's given to you by your family and friends, you keep precious. You keep precious because it's from the heart. But you pay attention to that lying, conniving terrorist, you know what, on what she did or tried to do or plans to do on the back end, because all she does is stalk me and my family. So anyway, the apron, so apron Betsy Ross XO, that's one of her aliases. So then the 13 colonies. So again, she knows she's the freaking Antichrist, Jean Roberts. She's literally bragging about it. So anyway, okay, and no, America is not the Antichrist. Jean Roberts is the Antichrist, her and her Manson occult. They are underneath everyone, even the Masons. They hide underneath everybody. So anyway, so inside Bonaparte is apron, and then what was the other? What was the other word? There was 3 words here, and now I can't remember what the other word was. But there's on par, and then so on par means what? Means on course, and you know her column attacks, okay, and then her teaching themes and all of that. So, and then her in and out, her inlet and outlet, inhale, and her in and out, what goes in and out, any kind of portal, in and out, okay? So that's another tarot theme that she uses. So rivers have ins and outs, okay? So just like breathing, ins and outs, okay? So anyway, so breathing is also in this, note that, and then apron, and then parody is in this. There's another word that's in this, but I can't remember what it is. So anyway, okay, so moving ahead, so then I'm like, let me see what else is in here. So you know what the hister, it's mispronounced. He mispronounced it on purpose because future terrorism is the snake terrorism. Okay. So Hitler is pronounced hister. So, and then also history, it all blends in together, as everybody knows. But going back in time and then going back through history, but it's a reference to Adolf Hitler. But hiss as in a snake, okay? So it tells you how long, and even in Nostradamus's images, how long she's been, throughout history, her occult has been breeding these snakes. And Jean has been breeding them since the 60s, okay? But because you guys know Adolf Hitler's involved, and I know you war guys out there have gone back even further than that, knowing about history. So anyway, so then I'm looking at the commonality of the 3 antichrists, and there's commonality because what is Hitler known for? Hitler is known for gas chambers, right? Okay, and then he is also known for now what is happening now, but it's America. It's not America. It is Jean Roberts, who is an American, who was born and raised in America. She's in America. She's Caucasian. She committed stolen valor in the Navy. She's been the leader of Charles Manson since the late 60s. Her occult is huge. So it is an American domestic terrorist occult, but they do commit terrorism nationally here in the USA, and they commit terrorism internationally also. Okay, and they've been doing this for 60 years. Okay, so anyway, but now that everybody knows about the snakes, so these snakes are weird. They're breeding them underground. They're underground. So you've got 2 things in common here. You have earth, dirt, soil, earth, and you have gases. Okay, so then you look at the other Antichrist, and then what else do you have? So Columbus is known for what? Okay, so water. So you have water. So you have earth, you have gas, you have air, and you have water. So then if you look at this even more, you can see it goes back to Genesis, and it goes to Esau, and Esau is in here, ESAU, and then you can take it from here and decode out even more. So even this Vsau, VSAU, and if you say saw, like, you know how you saw SAU is like pronounced as saw, SAW. So VSAU, if you put in a W, then you have waves. And then she's also using the sound technology and sound waves. And then like Noah in the Holy Bible, she's using Noah as no air. And then also when I was decoding in the Bible, I could see volcanoes in there. It freaked me out because I don't know I don't know the timeline for I'm like learning as I go along. So I'm like, when was this time period? And when was this time period? And when was this time period? Because I see this here and this here and this here. So is this a repeat instance of this? Like, is this the same thing happening over and over again? And it's in the Bible and then it happens again later on? Like, it's just a repeat? Or is this like in the Bible? Like, what is where? Like I'm talking everything from Greek gods. I'm talking about all of time. Okay, it's in the Bible. So anyway, I was decoding in Genesis volcanoes, and I was looking at Sodom and Gomorrah, and I was also looking at Nineveh. Okay, and when looking inside Nineveh and looking around that, I could see that there was volcanoes. And I swear to God, there's instances in there of Pompeii. So then and then you got to see all my decode and you have to see all my decode, all my podcasts on eggs, the whole egg theme of this. Okay, so I don't know, like, Gene Roberts should not be messing with people is all I'm saying. So I'm just saying, there's very powerful people in this world. For Gene Roberts to think her and her little hippie occult is getting away with this is insane. So anyway, I could swear to God I could see Pompeii. And you know Pompeii is Persia, is Iran. Okay, and then Iran, Persia, and then Iran, and then rain. If you rearrange the letters of Iran, rain. Okay, so anyway, you can tell that this is well, obviously you know this is biblical, but you're talking about the oldest, most ancient countries in the world. I wish I could learn everything. And then you're talking about the United States of America. And I'm not upset with the United States of America. I know it's a hostage crisis. I just do not understand idiots who would not demand the arrest of the Charles Manson occult, who would allow them to manipulate, condescend, lie, scheme, anything, anyone, and cover up for Gene Roberts. It makes me insane. But again, I try not to focus my anger on people behaving badly or people behaving under misunderstood lies that were fed to them, or people under force that she forces on corporations. And like, I need to, like, she wants me to projectile vomit at like everybody else because Gene doesn't want any focus on her. I go after the kingpin. So again, all I can tell you is Gene Jernigan Roberts needs to be arrested, because everybody that helped Gene that has quit by now knows they were taken for a ride. They know she hustled them. They know she conned them. And so by her trying to get me to go, blah, 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 is her trying to stick a knife and twist, is what she's trying to do, because she's trying to work everybody's nerve. But as I told you, that's also a part of her plot, her mad AIW plot. She wants everybody mad and angry, and she wants to be your solver. And see, now she's like tearing at me for turning her in. She wants to be, okay, so let me get control of my voice, because she keeps trying to control my speech. So anyway, so I swear Pompeii is in there. I swear, I swear, I swear. So, anyway, so that is. Let me stop this recording right here and then I'll make another one. So, I wanted to do this one first because this is critical. It's very, 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 very important. Okay, that's all I have.